Daniel Johnson. I'm going to be explaining how to do the outer tie rod and how to replace that on your vehicle. First things first, safety is most important, so it's good to have a good pair of safety glasses and a proper jack stand to lift your vehicle with. Next step is loosening the lug nuts on the vehicle. First, you want to make sure that the car is on a level surface to prevent from rolling. And you want to use the appropriate tool. A 1/2-inch breaker bar with the appropriate socket should do. Next step is to jack the car until the wheel is completely off the ground. Next step is taking out the lug nuts. Now that your wheel is off, you can take a little bit of a closer look at the tie rod. When you disconnect the outer tie rod from the inner tie rod, it's also very important that you count each turn that you are making. Since this is just the way it is, I'm gonna have to disconnect the inner tie rod from the outer tie rod. Typically, you would lift this out of the steering knuckle or drop it from the steering knuckle and then rotate it out by hand and count each turn as you go. That way, when you reinstall the new one, you reinstall it the same amount of turns to prevent having to get a realignment. Now that the outer tie rod is separated from the inner tie rod, you can clamp your vice grips onto the outer tie rod as such. And you're gonna wanna make sure that it's completely on the outer tie rod and squeezing on there pretty tight. And if grease spills out, that is a-okay. What you're gonna wanna do is gently tap on the vice grips or whatever you're using to remove this bolt from the steering knuckle. To reinstall, simply put the nut back in to hold it in place. You don't want it too tight, as you do want to move this to reconnect the inner tie rod back. Now you're going to tighten it back up. Now that the outer tie rod and the inner tie rod are connected, it is safe to tighten the outer tie rod back to its original position. Next is reinstalling the wheel back onto the vehicle. Next, you're going to want to put the lug nuts back onto the wheel. Tighten up your lug nuts in a star torque pattern, going from opposite side to opposite side. Next, you want to safely and slowly lower the vehicle. Next, you want to finally make sure that all the lug nuts are fully and completely tightened. In the same star pattern we mentioned before, you want to make sure it's all tight. These were just some of the tools that you need for the job. Other vehicles may vary, but thank you all for watching. I appreciate it and have a great day.